Hello and welcome everyone. I'm here with my friend Nick Benev from hellotax, and he will be presenting us today some quite a great information about expanding to Europe. So, Nick, welcome.
Hey Marcel, my wife just came in front of me and I lost my words, so sorry about that.
That's normal.
That-
It happens,
That's
yeah.
normal,
So,
yeah. So thanks for the invitation. It's good way to start the weekend and Monday. A lot of meetings. I got tired from the weekend, even though I'm on the beach. Went to vacation to another beach, and now we're gonna relax with a nice webinar on Monday. So, I do you want me to introduce myself
yes, please.
or okay.
Let's start with that, yeah.
Okay, so just to give you some introduction for me, guys. Now I'm Nick Penniff. I'm the partnership manager with hellotax and the founder of Extreme Power Brands. Extreme Power Brands is a partnership with a service agency. We provide like networking and connecting companies in the e-commerce space so they can grow for partnerships. And hellotax is my first partnering client. So for that reason, I run the growth for them, and we do a lot of events to educate companies about expanding to Europe because that's what we do. We provide VAT compliance for e-commerce sellers who are expanding to Europe, and obviously VAT is blocker number one. So this is what we're gonna discuss about here: how to overcome that, and we're gonna talk about a few other blockers and issues and how we can uh, solve those so we can expand in Europe, which is a huge market. And I think that's the long story short. So if you want to, Marcel, we can start with the presentation.
Yes, please. Okay, let's share your screen, and in the meantime, let me check a bit. It seems on Facebook we're not live, but
Okay. Yeah, let's wait then.
yeah. But go ahead and share your screen. I will put
Okay,
it
just
in
give me a
front
sec.
of the people here. Yeah.
Okay, let me know if you when you see my screen.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
visible there.
do you see
Okay.
it?
Yeah,
Okay,
the screen is visible,
here
so you
here
can
is the slide. So
so you can play the
okay, so we can
presentation, and
start
I'll.
presenting. Okay.
Mhm.
So guys, now, if you're based in the USA, you probably saying, okay, why should I care about Euro and Europe? I mean that's the first assumption because USA is a big market, but the thing is, Europe is even bigger than that. So the first question that we were asked, and actually partners are being asked, okay, why should you consider expanding to Europe? Then which is the main blocker to expanding in Europe? Then where is the easiest market to get started in Europe and why? And what other blockers are there to consider when you're expanding in Europe? And of course, at the end, we're gonna talk about some questions from your side, and we also have some from people who are not able to attend the event, and we're gonna answer those. So let's start with the first one. Why expanding to Europe is a huge opportunity for sellers? So it's really simple, by the way. you know the European continent, we have around 700 million people. 400 of those are people over 18, meaning that you're gonna start selling to a whole new US market. But the biggest thing is here, it's multiple countries, it's still underdeveloped, and it's a big opportunity to transform your brand from a local one to a global one because you're moving not to a whole continent. Many companies who are doing like seven plus figures or more are not moving outside of USA because they think that USA is everything. You're totally wrong. If you're doing like 1 million in the USA, you must consider expanding to Europe because your competitors are not doing that, so you can simply overtake them and grow more than them. And the last part, of course, is a huge new market would allow you to obviously sell more and order more from your manufacturers, meaning you can reduce the cost of your sourcing and increase the volume. So that's a few very important reasons that you should consider. So the next thing is no, obviously no. Okay, that's good. You know, you sold me. So what do we do next? Okay, of course. I mean, Europe is harder than the USA. There is few blockers here that you should consider. The first one and the most important is language barrier. And I'll give you an example. Amazon Sweden was launched like a year ago. They used some translation AI tool on their site, and everything was so messed up that it was a huge disaster there. So even big companies make this mistake. So remember, you need to have your translations done by like a localized native translators. So because if they're not done properly, nobody's gonna buy your stuff. As simple as that. I know it from experience because I used to run an e-commerce business and I was selling across Europe for 10 years. And I know it this was a main issue always. Finding good partners to actually help you with that is probably your goal number one, after taxes, of course. And then the second part that you need to deal with is value added tax, which is like the sales tax in the USA, then customs, and then logistics. So it's in that order. First you need to get your VAT, and in the meantime you arrange your logistics and customs. And the good thing is that I have a partner network with like 1,000 companies, and we have everybody in actually who's gonna solve that. We have translation agencies, hellotax deals with the VAT, we have customs and logistics partners. So if we have everything solved, and these guys have been tested by on our side, so we know that they're reliable. So that's the thing: language, translations, taxes, customs, logistics. So these are the blockers. And obviously, since hellotax is offering VAT compliance, we're solving the main issue for Europe, like how to be tax compliant. Because just to summarize it, before we're even starting, if you don't have VAT, you cannot start selling in Europe. Amazon are not gonna allow you to set up an Amazon account. It's simple as that. So that's a must. And obviously, in regards to VAT, if you don't know anything about VAT, this is your sales tax liability if you obviously compare that with the USA. So what do you need to know? Your VAT liability from the past and the present in all European markets. So if you have been selling before and for some reason you are not reporting that, because on Amazon you report everything automatically. On Shopify you have the option to report yourself. So for some reason, if you haven't done that properly, you're liable for that. So obviously we have penalties and all this stuff. So that's your responsibility. You need to register for VAT in one or more countries. The general rule is that you hold stock in any market, you need to register for VAT. The next thing is you need to have
Yeah,
a
I have a question. Sorry to interrupt.
sure,
So,
sure, go ahead.
is there like maybe an initial amount of money that you can run through a new country, or you have to register for VAT from day one that you're present on, let's say, on your European marketplace?
Yeah, I mean, if you're selling, Amazon is not gonna allow you to set up an account if you don't have VAT. So it's simple as that. So if you go by the book, you need to actually have VAT from the first product that you're storing, meaning that. And just to give you an idea how it works, so if you gonna set up like an Amazon account, they ask you for like the VAT registration. So you need to set up like either Amazon FBA, or you need to register for like a logistics partner. If you don't have that, you cannot get the VAT and you cannot start selling on Amazon. So before we used to have the so-called threshold, but this is eliminated right now. There is something called the OSS one-stop shop report, which we're going to talk about a little later. But this is mostly about uh, sellers of Amazon. So if the majority of your audience is on Amazon, we're not going to talk about Shopify, right?
Usually Amazon, but Shopify is a good
Okay,
subject as well. So let's.
okay, sure. I'll give you the different cases, but in general, if you're like a non-EU Amazon seller, you know, Amazon is gonna actually collect the VAT, on your behalf and pay that to the tax authority. If you're a Shopify seller, you need to set up like a VAT, and then you need to opt in for the so-called one-stop shop report, which would mean that you can actually store goods in one market in Europe, and you can deliver goods across the whole union. So actually, Shopify sellers is a little harder for them because they need to pay a little more. In some markets, they need to pay extra for fiscal representation, and obviously they're liable for their reporting and paying the VAT if they're non-EU. If they're EU based, it's a little different. You can sell on any Amazon marketplace in Europe where you store goods. You must have a VAT. If you don't want to store goods in, let's say, multiple markets, you can use your home country, and you can set up like a OSS report, for example, from Romania or from UK or from Germany, and then you can deliver from there to the whole union. But in any ways, there is no difference. You need one VAT at least and one OSS on Shopify. And if you're selling on Amazon, Amazon is using their OSS report. But actually, it's getting more complicated in a way. So probably we're gonna talk about that later on.
Right on. Okay.
Okay, so just to summarize now, things that you need to know: your VAT liability, I mean your tax liability on your e-commerce sales, one or more VAT registration in different countries. So if you store in one market, you need one VAT registration. If you store goods in multiple markets, you need VAT in each of the markets where you store goods. If you're moving goods between one warehouse to another, you need to report that in some countries. And the last part is if you're selling, let's say, on Amazon, Shopify, your own private website, you need to obviously report all the transactions on all channels. That's your responsibility. So if you don't do that, I mean, they'll penalize you. I mean, that's your responsibility. So that's in general what you need to know before you start selling. And obviously, another question is where should we start in Europe? So this is actually a chart that we have on our site. How complex and how hard is it in regards to the documents required and how hard is the process? So Poland is one of the easiest markets to register in Europe in regards to the documents that are requested and how hard it is. In Spain is one of the hardest, because now they require original documentations, notary, and all this stuff. So probably this should be your last option if you're considering. So Poland is the easiest one, but is not the most desired one. The most desired are Germany, because Germany is the biggest Amazon and e-commerce market in Europe. They have a central location, and if you're from an English-speaking market, you don't need to do translations. They accept that in English. So another easy markets to register like UK and also Italy in regards. But Germany is probably the most demanded market, and it's kind of easy because they also don't require fiscal representation, meaning that it's cheaper. So that are just few of the things that you should consider. And we actually spoke about that a little bit earlier when you asked for that, but these are actually the reasons why in general you need to register for VAT. So the distance selling threshold limit, it used to be different for different markets. Right now this has been eliminated, so it's no longer valid with the OSS. This applies only if you're selling for Shopify. If you're selling on Amazon are gonna use their OSS registration, so you shouldn't worry about that. Then the second reason is storage in a country. So this is still valid. So if you hold stock in one country, you need one VAT. If you have multiple storages for your products, you need to have VAT in each one of those. And this is the popular so-called pan-EU package, where you store goods in multiple markets so you can fulfill quicker, which is good in a way, but actually it's more expensive because you need more VATs on your side. So this is now how it works. And Marcel, feel free to interrupt me if you have any
Yeah.
questions.
I do have a question. So HelloTax
Sure.
can help us open and help us get the VAT in any of the European marketplaces?
Any of the European marketplaces where you have Amazon. So
Right.
I mean, they're like UK, Germany, Spain, France, Netherlands, Sweden, Czech Republic, Poland, Italy, Austria. I know I might be missing somebody, but if Amazon has a marketplace, we offer the service there because 90% of our clients are actually Amazon. The rest are like Shopify and other e-commerce sellers. So
Hmm.
I'll go a little later.
So,
I'll show what we do on our site. But this is just like information about the things, and then one
yeah.
thing which is actually positive because I know that you work with companies from the UK, and obviously Brexit was a big issue for Amazon and e-commerce sellers in general. So the good thing which happened this year is that Amazon reopened their European fulfillment network between the UK and the EU and vice versa. So obviously since March you're able to fulfill between the UK and the EU and vice versa for the European fulfillment network. So not gonna go into details, but anybody who is based in the UK can fulfill right now if their products are under 150 euro in is like the sales price. So in this
Right.
case, for which is like 95% of all the sales. And in this case, you don't need to worry about customs because you can enable all the Amazon marketplaces in the EU. Of course, you need to do the translation and all this stuff, but you can fulfill your orders from the UK to the EU, and you shouldn't worry about the customs. Vice versa,
Perfect.
EU companies can do that to the UK. So it's actually like a relief for UK companies because many of those stopped selling after Brexit. So this is an option right now without establishing the VAT in Europe.
Right. So I just want to outline something like we will have three VAT registrations that HelloTax is giving away. So wait until the end of this webinar to see how you can redeem one of them if you're among the lucky winners. So yeah,
Yeah,
thank you, Nick, for that.
you're welcome. We always actually encourage sellers because we know that you need to. It's hard to expand in Europe because of the multiple language and all this stuff. But consider that Europe is much. It's less competitive than the USA in other markets. So once you expand here, you can consider that as a long term revenue stream because it's not as competitive as well. So you should take advantage of the free VAT registration. So let's go to the next step. So what is our solution? What we recommend? So let's say if you're like a company which is considered to sell in Europe. Let's say if you're a non-EU company because we have a huge demand recently from US companies. And in general, if you're doing like 500,000 to 1 million in sales in the USA, you must consider obviously expanding to Europe. We have partners who provide product research. Marcel knows those as well. They actually can do like the analysis and research of the market research and select and see which markets are the best for you. But regardless of that, these are what we usually recommend when you start expanding to Europe. You need one VAT registration in UK or Germany. We recommend Germany because for a few reasons, like I mentioned earlier. Biggest Amazon market, biggest e-commerce market in Europe. They accept documents in English, meaning no need of translations, and they're actually centrally located in Europe. So you can set up one VAT there if you're selling on Amazon. You can use Amazon as the base, and you can fulfill and sell for all the Amazon European marketplaces from Germany without the need to set up multiple VATs. We also have the customs partners who can actually help you with the import of your goods to Europe, and we have a logistics partner who is actually covering the rest. If you're selling on Shopify, then you would need to set up the OSS registration. The OSS registration would allow you to host your stocks, actually your goods in Germany, and fulfill to any B2C clients across the European Union. So, just to summarize the difference, Amazon, you just need one VAT because Amazon is using their own OSS registration and fulfill the orders to all the clients in the EU, and you can sell on all the European marketplaces for Amazon. And for the Shopify, you need the VAT registration plus OSS registration. So it's a little more complicated, but and actually, one thing that I forgot to mention for Amazon, Amazon is gonna collect your VAT and pay them to the tax authorities, so you shouldn't worry about that if you're selling on Amazon. And on the other side, for Shopify, you're responsible for collecting the VAT and paying that to the tax authorities. So that's why Amazon is actually easier in that regards. And of course, you need to do like VAT monthly filings and paying returns if you're doing OSS for Shopify. If not, Amazon is going to collect them, and OSS quarterly filings if you're doing the OSS registration for Shopify. So just to summarize really simply, if you're planning to expand in Europe, we recommend Germany for those reasons. And the reason is the following, you don't need to set up multiple VATs, multiple storages and all this stuff. You can consider that as a test campaign. You start with one market, which is the biggest one. You establish yourself there, and you can start selling in all the other Amazon or e-commerce markets in Europe. And you can actually test how good are your sales in the different markets. And when you establish that your sales are doing very well in, let's say, France or like in Italy or Netherlands, then it would make sense to set up second VAT registration and make deliveries and fulfillments locally, but not before that, because I like I mentioned at the beginning, I used to sell in like 20 markets in Europe. So always test small, and when the assumption that this actually product is selling well in this market, then make the expansion there. Otherwise, you go into too much bureaucracy, logistics, and other expenses that you don't want to deal in advance, because Amazon provides the opportunity to do that already. And of course, you can do that for Shopify just with a little more tweaks on the a reporting and compliance side. So that's what we recommend. That's actually what we do with many partners, across Europe. And just to summarize, what hellotax is offering. Hellotax was established by two ex-Amazon seller who had issues with VAT compliance, so they decided to build software in a service which is tailored for e-commerce Amazon sellers. And in actually e-commerce sellers, not only Amazon but Amazon, Shopify, etc. So what hellotax is providing, a software is designed to provide digital VAT registration and returns in different markets in Europe. So let's say if you'd like to register for Germany, you just go to the website, you select the market, and that's it. Then once you're connected, your client, which usually takes from 2 to 3 months, then you connect your Amazon account or Shopify account or any other sales channel, and we pull the data and we verify the data before we process that to the tax authorities. So we report that, then we we upload in the software your VAT return. So if you're selling off Amazon, you need to pay that. If you're non-EU, if you're EU-based company, you simply download the return and pay that to the tax authority. And of course, we monitor all your compliance on different sales channels across the marketplace that you're selling across Europe. So, and actually we have a tool. I'm not sure if we have time, but if you want, I can show you the tool and how it works.
Yeah, let's have a quick look over it. Yeah, I think that will be most incentive for everyone to understand how it's looking. Awesome insight. So yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, the things taxes are always like.
Oh man, it's a pain with taxes.
Yeah, man. I even though we know we do that for hellotax, we have so many partners. I still
we can see your screen. So let me remove you for now. But yeah, you only have one monitor.
Okay, let me know.
Okay, I'm bringing you up again.
Okay. Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah.
Okay, so let me know. You see like the dashboard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you've made the decision. You decide to set up start selling in Europe. You start with Germany, for example. So, like I said, you wait probably 2-3 months to have the VAT issued by the tax authorities, and there is no way how to make it quicker. No, that's it. No, tax authorities, they don't care if you're doing like 10 million, 100 million, whatever. You just wait. I mean, this is just how it works, and this is why we facilitate that, because we have tax advisors in each market who check the documents, and this is the only way how we can actually expedite that. So having the proper arrangement and setup. So once this is done, this is now what you need to do. You come to the integration page, and if you're selling on Amazon, you put your seller ID, authorization token, save, and that's it. This is the demo account, so you cannot see all the plugins, but in the real one, we have like a Shopify plugin, and soon we're gonna have like a plugin for multiple marketplace like Kaufland, Cdiscount, and other partners on our site. And of course, for any transactions off Amazon or the plugins, you need to actually import them manually. So for example, you have like your import transactions, you need to import that manually so you can deduct the VAT on that when you import to Europe. And once you've connected your sales channels or you have uploaded their data, which is not on Amazon or the plugins, you can simply check your transactions here, like gross turnover, net turnover, total VAT. You can filter by Amazon FBA or Shopify or whatever else you're using. You can filter by countries. You can filter by period, etc. And this is actually what we pull from the marketplace or from the transactions that we import. Sale, expense, refund given, refund received, assets movement. That's everything that we get, and that's what we need. And of course, you can filter again by channel, you can filter by country, you can filter from which to which country you're moving goods. Of course, if you have an accountant, if you have one, you can give them access. So because they need some of this data for their accounting. And this is the next thing that we do. We file the report on your behalf, and then we publish the VAT return here. And you can simply come, click on the return, and download and pay that to the tax authority. And of course, if you're a non-EU company selling on Amazon, you don't need to pay that because Amazon is collecting the VAT and is paying that to the tax authority. And the last part is no tax letter inbox. We have a translation tool which allows you to which we receive the communication from tax authorities and we translate that to German in English. And whenever there is something, you can communicate that with your account manager. And the last thing, in the demo you cannot see that, but in the real tool you can simply add VAT registration for the markets that you require. So on the front side, this is like a SaaS solution to monitor and manage everything under one dashboard. On the back end, we have account manager speaking multiple languages like English, German, Italian, Spanish, French, Turkish, Arabic, Romanian. I might be missing some languages, but the idea behind the company in general was how to provide a solution to facilitate the global expansion. Actually, not global because we're talking about Europe, but the expansion across the EU. Just to give an example, if you're like a company based in the UK, we don't help with the VAT in the UK. We only help you out if you expand outside of your home country. So cross-border VAT compliances, like a quick summary of what hellotax is doing. And the founders used to be e-commerce sellers. I used to be an e-commerce seller, and the reason why I started using hellotax as a client before I sold my company is because I had issues with the other tax advisors. They're using like Excel and rip some like sheets and whatever. They make a mistake and we pay the penalty. So having like a one-stop shop solution for the VAT components saves you a lot of time and you can have the full visibility. So I think I had just some summary. So
Yeah.
and I think we're actually done with the slide. But just to summarize, I know many of you are actually scared of Europe, so don't be scared. Europe is good not only for going there on vacation, but it's good for business because it's still early. Marcel can tell you that he's running an
Yes.
agency, so he knows from first case experience. It's harder to start, but it would worth it because you don't need to worry about competition as much because a lot of your competitors are feeling that okay, it doesn't. Why should I go there? I mean, I'm telling I used to sell in like some small
Yeah.
markets like the Baltics, and we're killing it there because nobody was going there because it's a small market. So being a small market is sometimes more profitable than a big market. So
it's great, and indeed, sometimes we're afraid of moving to another marketplace because we do not have the information. And with hellotax, the way hellotax is handling, for example, taxes, because that's something that's killing me always. And I really enjoy it, and it makes things really really easy. We do have a question. If there are any questions, please post them. I'll have my team also help me with this. We had some problems on Facebook, but yeah, we're live on LinkedIn and YouTube at the moment.
yeah,
So Adi is asking if there is a list of the countries available. I believe
yeah, of course,
yeah,
here it is. Let me.
yeah, if you have it.
Yeah, I have it, but I'm not sure if I can actually post here.
No, you can.
Yeah, I'll send it to you here. So here it is. Like the EU countries that we cover is like UK, Spain, France, Netherlands, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Austria, Italy, and Sweden as of right now. And obviously, now Amazon is gonna add Belgium and I think Finland, right, Marcel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
probably.
once they do
I don't
that,
know.
probably we'll have the VAT there. So wherever Amazon goes, we go after them. So
I'm waiting for Amazon to come to Romania. That's something that I'm very interested
yeah,
in.
I know. Kaufland is going East Europe,
Right.
so but
Right.
Amazon I don't know.
Yeah, don't know. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's like going to Romania. In Romania, we have EMAG. So I think
I
it's
know.
Poland and also, yeah.
Yeah,
But
they're actually a good partner when they have it in Bulgaria, in Poland. I think Hungary.
Hungary as well, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Awesome. Alrighty. I don't think we have any other questions, although the recording will be available. So I think people will reach out if any other questions arise. Now, in terms of the prizes, like we'll have like 3 VAT registrations that Nick and HelloTax are offering. In order to do that, I'm thinking we should ask a question. So the people that will send the email through. Will email us first. Hey there. Will email us first. We'll receive the prizes. Hey, nice.
Yeah, so I mean, just summarize on what we do.
Yes, please.
Whenever you need to register for VAT, you need to pay like 300 euro registration. That's on our side, and obviously, we're waiving that so we can actually incentivize you to actually make the next step. We actually give you some for free so you can actually make the next step and start selling in Europe. So we have free VAT registration. So you just need to either email Marcel, or if he's gonna share my contacts, you can get in touch with me, and gonna have a consultation, and we're gonna see
Mhm.
what you guys need, and we can help you with that. Because besides VAT, we need you need a bunch of other stuff like we mentioned: translations, logistics, customs. So we have all of that in the network. So like 1,000
Awesome.
partners. I know each one personally, like Marcel. That's how we met. So
Yeah.
everybody we're gonna recommend, we've actually tested this guy. So we're not gonna connect with somebody who doesn't know what we're doing. So
Yeah.
as simple as that.
It's very important. Also, Nick, what is your email? How can people reach you?
I think, yeah, man, it's really easy. NP, like Nick Penif
At
at
hellotax.
hellotax.com, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn, so you can connect with me there.
Perfect. So
Yeah,
here's how we'll give away these three VAT registrations. I'm going to post a question, and the first people that will answer it through email will be entitled to this three. So in this presentation, Nick answered this question. What EU countries can hellotax help with VAT registration? So send the email, send by email your response. And the first three people that will actually get it right, I mean, putting there all the countries that hellotax can help you with, will benefit from the free VAT registration. How does that sound, Nick? Is that
yeah,
a tough question? Or?
that's a hard question. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
let's do it easy one. To
okay,
claim
easy
that,
one.
you should tell me which is the market that we recommend to expand in Europe.
Even better.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
So
what is
scratch
the
that.
yeah, that's too much. I cannot even remember them. This is why I write everything. Too many countries in Europe. So just
Yeah.
remember the one where it should start, like biggest market, central location. They do like Oktoberfest. They drink beer. They're good at football, even though I am not a fan of them. I like Italy, but anyways.
Even better. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, okay. Hope this was as let's say as good as I thought it was for me, because I really got a lot of information from Nick. Nick, thank you very much for presenting this. Um, I don't see any more questions, so I guess we can wrap it up. Unless Nick, you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I think just to summarize, now Europe is harder to start, but it's actually easier once you establish yourself. So just don't be scared. It's much easier than before. Just one VAT and that's it. And you're ready to start selling. So
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
thank you,
That's
Marcel. Thanks everybody.
thank you everyone, and yeah, have a great week ahead.
Have a great week ahead.
Bye.
Bye.